What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while now, I mention it all the time, but my most anticipated game mode in Modern Warfare 2 is DMZ. The second I heard that there was going to be an extraction type game mode coming into Call of Duty, I immediately took interest. Now, I know that's a risky thing to do when it comes to COD, but like I said, I'm an extraction fan, and I've always craved a more casual extraction experience. You have stuff like Escape from Tarkov, which is a blast, but it is ridiculously hardcore and, very difficult for your average Joe to hop on and be able to master it. I'm a year plus in, and I still struggle here and there with trying to, fully indulge myself into the game. Because unless you invest all your time into it, you're not going to be able to go ahead and keep a complete understanding. So to hear that a game known for its casualness, well, not anymore nowadays in 6v6, but in the larger game modes, yes, it's known for its, casualness. It's hard to have a thick skill-based matchmaking system in a mode that's, pumping in so many players at once. But in a franchise known for that atmosphere, I was kind of excited to see what it was all about. And I gotta say, they did not disappoint whatsoever. When I first went into the DMZ, it seemed almost like just an open world Spec Ops. It's almost like, what Modern Warfare 2019 should have been, but transforming it into an extraction-based game mode. It is absolutely phenomenal. It strays away from all the other massive titles. So don't think of Escape from Tarkov. Don't think of, the Cycle Frontier. Don't think of any other extraction game mode. Think of this as a brand new introduction into the actual genre. It's nice. It's casual. It's exciting. For all the lovers out there who like hopping in with friends to a survival match, back in the day like Modern Warfare 3, or playing Spec Ops missions, like even Modern Warfare 2, those Spec Ops missions were fantastic. If that's what you enjoy the most out of Call of Duty, this will not disappoint you in any way, shape, or form, and it's going to give you an extraction mode twist. It's going to introduce you to a genre that not many console players have been able to go ahead and, look forward to. Yeah, there's things like Hunt Showdown, which is a really good game, but like I said, this is on a whole different level. This is going to be a game mode that you and a couple of your other homies, because it's a max of 3 people per squad, can hop on late at night after a long shift or, spending all day at class, hustling, trying to learn. You're exhausted, you're tired, you just want to relax and have a good time with the game. This is what you and your buddies are going to go ahead and load up. Like I said, Warzone, it's cool and all, but it's sweaty, it's competitive. That is the nature of that specific game mode now. But for extraction game modes, yes, it is sweaty at times depending on the type of game it is. But right here, like I said, it is ridiculously casual. The developers made sure that pub stomping isn't going to be prioritized. There are going to be challenges scattered from here and there, that will want you to hunt squads and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, from my experience at least, and I put in a lot of hours into DMZ now. Again, the gameplay, I'm going to try to, stretch the gameplay through different missions and stuff like that to showcase a little bit here, a little bit there. Nothing too crazy, but with the amount of time that I've spent in this game, it's like, unless you want to find people, but if you don't want to find people, it's like, 80% of the time you're just strictly fighting AI. And then the other 20%, maybe some people will cross your path, maybe you'll make some buddies. And like I said, if you want to go to the hot zones, you can find them. But if you want to strictly stay away, you can strictly stay away. It's fun. It's interactive. And when you do get into those engagements with real players, it means something. I was worried, once again, this was going to turn into a Warzone. And also being Call of Duty, you would think that it's just going to be a pub stomper's dream. It's just an open world where everybody's just going to go ahead and frag out and take all their weapons, take all their loot, repeat the process, come back and frag out. You would think people would be taking advantage of that, but they're not. It's outstanding. Everybody across the board is either doing their own types of objectives. They're trying to chase down chests. They're trying to hunt down certain things. They're all doing what they want to do. As a good extraction shooter should be, the FPS side, the PvP, shouldn't be your main reason for going in. And that's how it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for those pub stomping people. I don't think you guys will really enjoy it. But again, for all the casual people who enjoy Spec Ops or Survival, or even, people who enjoy extraction modes that are looking for something a little bit more casual, that in these modes, you focus on the objective first, your missions first. And if PvP comes across, then you engage. That's what makes it exciting. That's what gives you the adrenaline rush in this mode. That's what keeps it refreshing. And of course, I know a ton of people are going to say, well, what's the point? If you're not going to see that many people or any players, you're just going to be running around shooting AI. Well, let me tell you, the AI has pretty much aimbot. It's the max difficulty they could possibly be set on. And I like that. It makes it challenging. So if you do want to avoid players, you converse extremely overpowered AI. If you do want to go engage with players, you can do so in multiple different ways if you truly, want to. And even if you are going up against overpowered AI and players come in, you can even, with proximity chat, communicate with those individuals to join forces and take down whoever you need to take down. It's such an interesting and intriguing experience. The possibilities are literally endless. The amount of laughs that I've had within this game, the amount of talks that I've had within this game, all just because of proximity chat, has been just out of this world. You have people begging for their lives. You have people, becoming friends and squatting up with one another. You have people synchronizing on taking out the absolute beefiest bosses. You have people, supporting, sabotaging, finessing. It's insane. Like I said, it's an open world. It lacks one thing. You know what it lacks? It lacks more time. Being able to hop into this outstanding map here where the variety is endless. I mean, the amount of hidden spots that you can find, the amount of amazing action you can see across the board is great, but you don't have enough time to explore. Now, the initial 25 minutes isn't the end of the game. After the 25 minutes go, the radiation zone where, you find the chemist who has the M13 assault rifle that you need to kill and take and extract with in order to get it in a war zone and multiplayer, that zone expands once the 25-minute mark ends. So basically, if you don't extract in that time, you still have time to extract, but now you have a zone that's expanding across the whole map. So technically, I would say the matches last maybe 30, 35 minutes, maybe. I don't know exactly the real timer when the radiation zone covers everything, but it's kind of a rush after the 25 minutes. You want to get out, because once the radiation goes over an extraction zone, you can't extract there anymore. But even if it was an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a half an hour, I think that would be perfect enough. Make the server time like 45, 50 minutes, and that would be outstanding. And then, 55 minutes or a full hour for the after radiation zone, So the full lobby would be open where you can do whatever you want for 45, 50 minutes, and then 5 minutes is how long it'll take for the radiation to spread and cover everything at the very end. That would give me so much time to explore. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe we should tweak it and start out lower. Maybe we should start out with, making 35-minute lobbies, and go from there, because it does add to the adrenaline rush knowing that you have to extract. Yes, this map and mode would be fantastic if I can just run about and do whatever I want for however long I want, but at a certain point that would just become tedious and boring. The whole adrenaline rush comes from knowing that you have to get out of there, and there's going to be other people rushing to get out of there as well, and you might have to get into engagements while you need to extract. You might not even make the helicopter, then the radiation zone comes in, so maybe you have to go to a different extraction, and then it might be engagements there, you're running out of armor. All these things start shifting, changing, and it makes you think. You're constantly on your toes, and I love game modes that do that. I like being constantly on my toes. I like constantly having to rethink certain situations, re-strategize, work around obstacles to overcome certain situations. I love that stuff. But the point that I'm trying to make is that adrenaline rush only happens because you are timed. You know that if you run out of time, you won't have anything to extract with. You will get no XP. You will get nothing towards your progression with your missions. You will get absolutely zero. So you got to get out. Everybody else in the lobby knows they have to get out, and that's what sparks the rush. So I understand that maybe a timer is needed. It's necessary. You can't have 2-3 hour servers, who knows, but at least test out with it. I would love to experiment a little bit. 2 years of this, let's see what we can actually push it to. Another thing that I think would really add to the immersion of this map in this game mode would be a day-night cycle, a weather cycle, anything of that sort. I would love to see the actual match start off in the morning and shift over to the night. Maybe it's completely sunny out and then a thunderstorm, sweeps on through, and it completely changes the sound dynamic and how individuals are working their way through the map. I love stuff like that. I eat that stuff up, and it makes the world feel more alive. Infinity Ward, I have to give them props. They already made this world feel alive enough. But with the introduction of actual weather cycles, I think it would push it a step further. And another thing about, making the world feel more alive, a backstory is, in my opinion, desperately needed. I need a little bit of an explanation for what's going on here. Why these soldiers are here, what am I doing here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, who the factions are. I would love to see faces, maybe even voices connected to the factions to, like I said, just add a little bit more to what DMZ has to offer. Because right now, I understand it's in a beta phase. It's bare minimum. This is just, ground level. And we have 2 years to work on this and mold it into something even better than it already is. So I'm excited to see the future. But, like I said, that would add a ton more value to the overall game mode. And also talking about a story, the bosses in DMZ are really fun as well, and they could be connected to the story. I would love to hear, maybe the backstory of the chemist, what he's all about, why there's a radiation zone, what he's doing, and then add more people to the backstory of this, make them bosses, add them into the game, and then add things behind them to encourage players to actually go and interact. One thing that I actually enjoy that a lot of people don't right now is that the M13 is locked behind DMZ. Now, this does, irritate a lot of players, but what this does offer is a high risk, high reward area. If you really want to get your adrenaline pumping and you want to try to get one of the best items that you could possibly get out of the DMZ zone, that not only is it going to be a challenge with the AI, but there's going to be a ton of enemies working around that zone as well. And there's multiple ways of playing it. You'll run into people who will gladly third-party you. They'll sit and watch you absolutely obliterate all the AI, get the gun, and then they'll shoot you in the back of the head. Of course, that's annoying, but that's a part of the experience. You know what I'm saying? And what else is part of the experience is teaming up with players. Maybe they want to squad up and you can help one another, add each other later, share the weapon. Because currently, I don't know if it's a glitch or not, but if one person gets the M13, if you bring it out, extract it, and bring it back in the zone and drop it, you can literally share the M13 with all the players. Now, of course, only one person can extract it a game, but if you quickly cycle in and out of matches, everybody will be able to own it at once. So again, like I said, some people even want to team up, make it a little bit easier. The possibilities is what makes this mode exciting. But having something as big as the M13 added into this game behind a boss, like I said, it adds action to the DMZ experience. And it also allows, once again, like I said, the people who do want to play passively to do their own thing. The majority of the people who want combat are going to go to that zone. Even if they have the M13, if they want combat, they'll more than likely still go to that zone. So it allows people to separate and do what they want to do. Now, I will say it will probably be better if they remove weapons from, being behind boss battles in DMZ. I definitely think there should be another alternative for multiplayer players. I think they did this because they want people to try DMZ, and I understand that. So I'm going to let it slide for this one because I definitely do think a lot of people should give this game a try, and this is definitely an encouraging way to get people to give it a try. Also, along with the skins that you get for extracting 7 briefcases or weapon cases. My God, it's so dope. There's so many cool things to achieve in this mode. That's another reason that, let me get back to the topic here. My bad. Like I said, I understand why they put the M13 behind the bosses, but it's, like I said, it's too valuable of an item. I think a really fancy blueprint of a gun that everybody loves would be something that would work there, because it would still encourage players to go into DMZ and hunt it down, because it's a really badass looking blueprint, but it won't be an actual weapon in the overall experience, because right now, people who don't want to play DMZ, people who don't want to play, none of that stuff, they like 6v6, they're getting less content. Basically, the live service method right now is minus those players now. You either expand or you stay exactly at the content that you got. That's a risky, bold play to do there. So hopefully they change the model here. Like I said, put really fancy, maybe even pricey, really expensive blueprints. You know how hard people will go if they know a $20 skin in the store is available maybe for like 1 weekend. Well, if it was like Christmas weekend, they wanted to do a little special for everybody. It's like, it's Christmas weekend. Make a skin that's worth a decent amount. Throw it into those zones and watch people go wild. People will fight for those suckers, and it will turn DMZ into just, holy crap, I don't even want to think of it right now. Also, another thing I think I should discuss is the challenges for solo players. Right now, the AI, like I said, they're hard, they're difficult. I love that, but it's definitely tuned for squad play. This game mode, like I said, you can play it solo, but I don't think it had solo gameplay in mind at all. It was definitely for the casual group of people who wanted to hop on the game late at night, kick back with a full squad of players, and just enjoy the DMZ experience. But for solo players, it's a little tuned high. You have to play very stealthy. You have to take very, appropriate gunfights, or else the AI will gun you down, and you'll be so stressed with how many AI are pushing you that PvP, they will literally be able to third party you like it's nothing. It's horrifying right now to play it solo. And along with the challenges, I don't know if they're tuned just yet, but it doesn't seem like it in my personal opinion. If you pick up the majority of the challenges, you will probably get destroyed unless you do a hunt squad challenge or something of that sort. Because, like I said, everything just calls in so much AI in between you trying to do the objective with all the AI hounding you, which is extremely overpowered AI, along with PvP coming into play. It's very harsh. Now, again, you could potentially squad up with people. It's doable, That one 3-person mosh pit in Warzone and also in DMZ, it allows you to invite people to your squad. I think that's so cool. It's so awesome that they added that into the game as well. Like I said, these innovations are just insane. They're crazy to actually be able to do that with people. But yeah, you can actually try to join another squad or get people to join you so you don't die in these scenarios and maybe you can get a little help. Like I said, DMZ is a pretty friendly place. Yeah, there are some people who want to, go cutthroat, but as in any extraction mode, that's the best part about it. You don't know who to trust. You don't know, that one person who has nothing but smiles on their face could literally shoot you in the back of the head in 5 seconds. And that's what makes, once again, extraction game modes freaking outstanding. The possibilities are endless, and betrayals like that are definitely nothing new to extraction players, and it's completely doable. So, trust me, that can happen as well. But as I was saying, the challenges should definitely be tuned for solo players as well. Whoever picks it up, it should know how many players are in the party of the end. If skill-based matchmaking can track every stat of mine down to the T, then they can definitely put together an algorithm that knows how many people are in my party before I select a contract. It should know if it's 1, 2, or 3 people with me right when I pick up that contract, and once I accept it, that should be the difficulty level of that specific zone. Now, I don't know if it's already preset, AI there or something of that sort. The AI are literally everywhere. It's insane. There's so much AI, but they definitely respond, So I feel like they can finesse it here and there to make it a little bit easier on yourself to be able to, have a better experience as a solo player. And I think, honestly, there's only one other complaint I have for a mode like this, is just I wish there was more to the money in this game. There's not really any purpose of anything, bringing anything out besides getting XP, which I like because, again, I'm a level grinder. So, being able to absolutely deck out in-game, get a ton of cash, and then transfer that all to XP to, grind prestiges is freaking awesome in my personal opinion. Like I said, it adds a reason for me to play it, and any reason for me to play it is definitely a 2 thumbs up from me. But I wish that I could also use that money in some different type of way. I wish there was attachments that I could put on the guns I bring back from DMZ. I wish there was actual attachments in the DMZ itself. I wish that I can actually use my currency to help improve what's about to happen with, having armor or different upgrades of sorts. That would really improve the overall experience, but instead, it's all locked to inside the DMZ. You have to join in-game in order to use any type of currency, and you can't, bring out currency and then bring it back in. No, it's only the currency you earn. Once you take it out, it turns to XP. So every game, you start off with 0. You have to find cash. You buy a bunch of cool stuff. You restart. So it's not bad. Like I said, it's very casualized. It still feels like an extraction mode. It's way better than Hazard Zone. It's outstanding, and it's free to play. You know what I'm saying? It's tons of fun, but I feel like there could definitely be a market of some sorts, especially an open market where you can trade with other buddies, other individuals, that would help you be able to do challenges, Like right now, there's certain challenges in there where you have to find certain items in-game. It would be cool to see an open market because we would make the prices, We would be the ecosystem of this game. If it's a challenge that everybody wants to grind through, it's going to be expensive as hell. People are going to be making bank because they're going to be finding these items, taking them out. It's going to be more value to them. Right now, it's a set value on everything. If they had an open market, we would create the value. There would be no set value on these items. We would be basically setting the value. The value is whatever, the other individual's willing to pay. And of course, we can always sell it to traders or go to the buy station and sell it there for a set price that it's already for. But if you want to extract it, and you know the value of it, and you want to extract it and actually try to make a little bit more profit, you should be able to do so. Just basically, your whole stash system is very bare bone. You can only take out guns, and once again, you can't do anything to those guns. You can have insurance where you can have your custom loadout guns, which you can get even faster by, extracting more cash to get more XP, which will quicken up the insurance. And once again, the more missions you complete, the more insurance slots you open, so the more custom classes that you can actually use and go into the actual DMZ with. But again, like I said, it's very, very bare bone. And that is okay. Because again, it's a beta, and I thought it was going to be so much worse than this. I was I was convinced. After the streamer event, I was 110% convinced that this was it. DMZ is going to be a flop. I'm very pleasantly surprised with what I have here in my hands. I'm obsessed. Like I said, between Warzone 2 and this, I should be able to make it to Season 2 to hopefully get more 6v6 content to make the replayability factor of that specific game mode actually worth it. Because right now, I'm trying to play it, but all I have in 6v6 is shootouts. That's the only new content. So it's like, I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care. If it was a new map, I'll be on it all the time, but I've already played shootouts nonstop in Modern Warfare 2019. I don't need to play it anymore right now. I'm good. Let the camo grinders do their thing. I think I'm going to stick with this one right here. I'll still talk about 6v6. I'll still talk about all that other stuff, but man, this right here is a very good experience. I'm excited to see what Infinity Ward has in the future, or whoever is going to be working on the development of this game mode. I don't know who's going to take control, but man, I want to see what's going to happen. I really do, because I believe that if they listen to very, very core feedback from this community, this game, I can't say this community, because like I said, it's going to be a lot of pub stompers trying to get their pub stomping ways. But like I said, if they listen to things about having a marketplace to sell items, actually allowing us to create, the price tags of this stuff, toning down the challenges to make solo players' experiences a little bit better, all the things that I mentioned, man, we have a banger that will last forever, in my personal opinion. They could transfer this over to, Treyarch games, Sledgehammer games, it doesn't matter. This will transfer so easily and so nicely. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. Say hey, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, please subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with this too, we do so. Twitter and Discord, put the link down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.